Hello, chat. Welcome to the stream. Hello, everybody. Kakatapos ko lang kumain nung saging actually. And you don't want to know why it took long, chat. But I will give you a clue. If you look at the banana that I sent in our Discord, that banana doesn't look very fresh no more. Kaya you already know what happened right after that. That is why that's why medyo napatagal yung intro. But we're here now. We're here now. That's all that matters, chat. Daan uli later si CJ. Okay. Hey, no premium. You gotta get on that premium time, CJ. Welcome everybody to the stream. We have SWG, Christian, Paolo, Mock, Office Ninja, Daniel Berry Sport Highlights 5851. Who else is here? LJ is here. And also we have on the other side Gio, Chuck, and Volt. That's all that matters, sabi ni Gio. Yup. Guess the weight. Guess the weight of the banana. In grams, chat. In grams. Nobody say anything in length. Okay? Nobody say any other measurement. No measurements of length, okay? Just measurements in weight or in mass. Guess the weight. No, not 500 grams. Lower than 500 grams. Why would you... That's half a kilo. Do you know what 500 grams is, chat? 500 grams is about 3 cups of rice. No, not 320 grams. Man, you know how I'm not gonna blame you, chat. Alam niyo naman, 'di ba? We're so reliant on our tools. It's very hard to eyeball measurements these days. 170 is close. 170 grams is close. 124, nope. Wait, what is the weight? Actually, yun na yata, 174. Wait, let me check. Actually, 170 grams is correct, chat. Check it out. Oops. Let me turn on my, there you go. 170 grams is actually correct. If you look there, it says banana. So I logged that in, and it is 173 grams. So yeah. You got it right, Chuck. Hey, Meow Meow. What's up, my cool? Mga naandito ngayon sa TikTok land, please come over here. Come over here to YouTube or TikTok, YouTube or Twitch. Would be glad to have you guys over here. Hindi siya saging na saba. Actually, talaga mutated siya. This one is a lakatan, except they shared the same sleeve or the same peel. That's crazy, no? Nah. You know what, Romeo? Just to dispel that, I took a massive dump. That's all that happened. I did not choke on bananas, chat. I want to make that clear. Is it yellow inside? Medyo, I would say. Medyo. Like, medyo pa-black na siya, actually. Ano na rin to eh. Binili namin to for New Year's. Yeah, kambal na saging. We bought this for New Year's as part of our fruit basket. I don't know why kasama ang banana, but based on the list that we got, kasama ang banana. So, the fruit basket for New Year's is on its way to being demolished. The goal is walang mapanis. Because as it is, it's not the cheapest expense. Nadaan sa blur, Gio. If you look closely, it's kind of blurred and grainy. Dubai banana? Is that a thing? Is it safe to Google Dubai banana? Anywho, chat. Yeah. Ooh. How do we look on stream? How do we look on stream? Because on my end, it kind of looks like it's it doesn't look very good. The shirt doesn't look very good on the camera. I'm afraid baka ito rin yung maging kalabasan niya. Do we look okay? I'm just afraid that there's this term. There's a term I'm looking for. Ito yung itsura nung shirt from my end. Yeah, Mok, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Wait. Give me a sec. There, I'm looking for a term. Why I'm looking for a term to call the patterns that show that appear on camera. The weird patterns that appear on camera. Normally, it happens when I'm wearing stripes. Not pixels. What? More? Yun yung name? More? Yeah, this one. This one. Okay, you know what I mean? Ito mismo, chat. You know how sometimes you're wearing tight patterns and then ito yung nagiging itsura on camera? Anybody feel me? May na, gets? Because that's what I'm looking at right now on my right screen. Is it the same on your screen or no naman? Hi, Manang. Hi, Ate Tess. Is it good though? Wait, let me double check here. Parang okay naman. A little? I should be checking here. You're right. Let me check, chat. Medyo daw. Because I am wearing white because admittedly wala akong red. I should be wearing red right now. But I think white is always a good alternative color. That's why I made sure red na yung background natin. Pero parang, yeah, oksang naman, no? Okay, because we don't wanna mess this one up. Okay, great. Oh, nice. Okay, that's good. MJ's watching sa TV. Yeah, so may naiwan pa tayong Christmas decor dito that is supposed to be removed already. Actually, dapat today, nakatayo na yung... Look at this, chat. What is this? See, it's a number 6. It's a number. Trust me, it's a number 6. Okay? And then, of course, you have a number 2. Number 2. Trust me, it's a number 2. What? I'm supposed to get... No, this is a 0. My bad. What? I think this is a 0. I hope it's a 0. Okay, I hope it's a 0. So I have a 2026 or 2026. I even have balloons here. See? Happy New Year. O, diba? May pa Happy New Year pa tayo. More Happy New Year balloons. Happy New Year. Okay? And then more balloons here. Now, the thing is, I can't inflate them. I can't inflate them with the small pump that I have, much less with my own breath. So I borrowed from my household a legitimate pump for air. And so bala ko sana siyang gawin kanina o kagabi. And then I remembered, BPI may not want the room to be littered with 2026 decors. So that will have to hold for tomorrow. I'm ready, chat. I'm ready with the 2026 decors. Hindi ko lang talaga siya mailagay pa dahil meron tayong integration tonight. Okay, who was here last night when we talked about the James? Thank you, Christian. Who was here last night when we talked about James Deacon? The James Deacon issue last night. James Deacon. There you go. James Deacon. Because it just took a turn, chat. It took a crazy turn. Okay? So we read all of this, all 100 slides of Deacon posting on his on X, or I'm not sure if this is Threads or X, but he posted, and it got a lot of people supporting him because of the way he wrote it. It was very eloquent. Ang ganda ng pagkakasulat, ganda ng storytelling, and it makes you basically, from his POV, they're doing what's right and they deserve better. Who here doesn't know, before I go on, who here doesn't know the James Deacon drama last night? I can give you a 1-minute summary of what happened in case hindi kayo familiar sa nangyari kay James Deacon. Let me know, chat, so that I could give you a quick summary, a quick 411. While I look for the twist. Okay, what happened? Tanong ni Chuck. Okay, so last night, very quick summary, okay? James Deacon, car guy. Everybody knows about, like a lot of people know who James Deacon is. Growing up, he's appeared on TV, on magazines, and even in the Senate to talk about cars and LTO and MMDA and traffic and all the recommendations you could think of. Generally on people's good side. So, last night, nag-release ng Twitter thread or rant or story time si James Deacon, talking about his kid. I don't know kung guy or girl yung anak niya, but basically his kid who's now eligible for driving. Now, sinabi niya sa anak niya, let's do things right, okay? Don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. Do things the right way, and things are eventually going to get better, even if it's slow. And that's right? Diba? Wala namang problema dun if you tell your kid to do the right thing and you tell the world that you're telling your kid to do the right thing. It's what's proper. And so James Deacon enrolled his kid into a legitimate driving school, one of the best, if not the best, according to him. And pati yung pagkuha ng lisensya sa LTO, all legit. Walang fixer. From the long processes to the actual driving test to the actual practical test, ginawa ng anak niya. Great. And bago yung and so new driver na or new licensed driver na yung kanyang anak. Now very recently, yung anak niyang to got into a traffic violation when taking the wrong exit at Skyway. So not exactly the wrong exit, pero na-realize nung anak niya na magiging mali yung exit niya. Kaya ata biglang umexit. I mean, it happens to the best of us, but at the same time, when it happens, you don't try to make your way to that exit. You just simply take the next exit. So, it's a typical violation. It's not common, it's not uncommon, but at the same time, new drivers will often fall for it as well. So James Deacon posts this thread not because nahuli yung anak niya, but because of the processes that they had to go through. Very lengthy. They went to the LTO, and pagdating nila sa LTO para tubusin yung lisensya, end up wala pala kapag Saturdays. So they went on another day, and mind you, this happened throughout the holiday break. Pumunta sila sa LTO para tubusin, wala nga kapag Saturday, and so they went on another day. When they went on that day, what ended up happening is hiningan sila ng documents, more specifically, ng ORCR na wala naman silang maipro-provide dahil hindi naman daw kotse nung anak niya yung dinrive at yung dinrive nung nangyari yung violation. Nothing wrong there too, by the way. That's perfectly normal. But James Deacon did say that it's kind of weird that they've already written down all the details during the incident only for them to be required the ORCR. So medyo hassle, but they did it anyway. Nilakad nila yun until they finally were able to provide the ORCR. By the time they did so though, lumipas na yung 15-day grace period kung saan po pwede mong tubusin yung lisensya mo kasi holiday break nun. Bukod sa holiday break na maraming holidays, LTO doesn't welcome that on Saturdays, right? So now the interesting thing here is, in other words, suspended yung lisensya nung anak niya for 1 month. After going through all that trouble, that's what James Deacon says. But the major takeaway here, and this is where the twist happens, the major takeaway here is that sabi ni James Deacon, yung pinaka-heartbreaking sa lahat dito, is that he had to tell his kid how to go through processes properly only for the system itself to fuck them around, which is very, very wrong. And apart from that, hinabol din ni James Deacon na tinag yung anak niya for a violation, more specifically reckless driving, which can be also seen as a criminal offense. And when you are tagged with a criminal offense, it goes on your official record, which could prevent his kid from future opportunities in work, in school, or in other places. Dahil kung nakatag ka na may reckless driving, technically, you are already criminally liable for that offense. Does that make sense? So that's what happened. But today, the update here is that LTO finally comes out. Sabi ng LTO, yup, it was really reckless driving. And, you know, when you go back to the text here with James Deacon saying how can it be reckless driving? Reckless driving means you actually endangered other people. And you put people's lives at risk when you recklessly drive. You know, think incidents abroad where cars literally ram through crowds. Ganyan na vibes, reckless driving. Or yung mga police videos where naghahabulan yung cop and yung car, and then this car just suddenly goes into a bunch of people trying to avoid everybody. That's reckless driving. But when you just suddenly switch lanes to go to the exit, that's not, according to James Deacon, hindi raw yun reckless driving. But again, LTO today says, nope, it is reckless driving. So here it is. I haven't seen it myself. I just saw the headline. But I thought this makes for an interesting popcorn session.
Hindi siya natumbok. Yun yung sinasabi ng bakit reckless. Reckless yan. Kasi bigla kang sumingit pumasok at hindi po traffic na yun nasa lugar. Kita-kita nyo naman.
So that's the car. Right? That's the car. Sumingit siya. Double yellow lane. Again, cardinal rule kapag double yellow lane yung road, do not cross it. Okay? And so matatag ang LTO. They're double downing here. They're doubling down, saying na ito raw ay talagang reckless driving.
Siya yung nag-cause ng traffic, tapos pumasok siya doon. Sa harap pa ng enforcer mismo. Kung nakalinya po yan, traffic, at kadalasan nangyayari po yan sa Quezon Avenue. Kasi single lane lang yun. Ilan tayo sa single lane.
Okay, MDO, sabi mo napanood mo yung press conference. Why do you think it was unreal? Does this look like it was reckless driving, chat? What do you think? Let's look at more articles here. LTO James Deacon's son. So, son niya yun. Gotcha, LJ. So, talagang reckless driving, oh. Here, 3 hours. James Deacon's son cited for reckless driving in unregistered vehicle. I'm not really sure what's happening. It seems like a simple mistake by a noob. But driving an unregistered vehicle is definitely a violation. So it started from a minor violation, then escalated to something else. Is this a case of power tripping? Or is this simply another show no one asked for involving some famous main character? Ah, thank you, Mommy Keiko. Double use in the chat for Mommy Keiko. Here you go. The only thing really worth bringing up here is how holidays and non-work days also count to the 15-day limit and the long process in the LTO. For the charge itself, there's not much you can dispute even if it's reckless driving charge, because stopping on the skyway to enter a lane improperly while cars are going 60 to 80 kilometers behind you can be seen as reckless. Oof. And even if everyone behind the driver was backed up, at some point you are forcing other drivers far behind to stop or slow down significantly because you're busy wanting to jam your car into a lane where you no longer have any right to enter. It's a disaster waiting to happen. If you miss your exit, just let it go. Leave on the next exit. Oof. Yo, that actually makes sense. Sigaw mo, Mok! Sabi mo, Mike! 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 Andiyan ba siya? Hey, Mike! Hey! Yeah. So, I mean, and with this comment, it kind of justifies LTO's case, right? Again, because stopping on the skyway to enter a lane improperly while the cars behind you are going 60 to 80. By the way, if you're on Quezon Ave Skyway, 60 kilometers ang speed limit. So you're not really going 80, but 60 is pretty fast already. And even if everyone behind the driver was backed up, at some point, you're forcing other drivers far behind to stop or slow down. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, the picture shows it's pretty clear, right? Look at that. May mga kotse sa likod niya. Guy had to stop right there. Guy had to stop right there para isiksik yung sarili niya. Do it, Mok! Okay, so, I mean, this is a pretty good entry. LTO says it's actually 5 days. Happening on the 18th, and while there was no holiday yet, there definitely are 2-day weekends. Let's assume it's December 23 when this happened, and you only have 26th. So reasonable na 5 days to contest should be after the holidays. So maybe it's not the weekends, but holidays that should be reviewed. Deacon downplaying, not saying the actual issue. Wala palang plaka, ORCR. Why naging reckless driving should be highlighted. He gave those interviews in appearing as an advocate pero walang transparency. That goes both to the requirement to respond and the missing document of the car. Sa totoo lang, dapat he should have kept this matter private considering his big issue was the reckless driving charge and secondary was the holiday. Deacon hasn't changed. Ooh. Remember when I told you last night, chat, that generally James Deacon is cool, but there are some people who don't like him? It's because of this. I think, whether intentionally or not, he's leveraged his status as somebody who's influential to his advantage. Again, not saying intentional, but for those who dislike him, it's because of that issue na sikat siya, and so whenever he says something, nasasapawan ng pagkasikat niya yung actual issue. And now, something similar is happening. I mean, I want to read on, chat. Yeah, it is a noob error. I think the issue now is whether or not it is considered reckless driving. Diba? Kasi again, it's a skyway. cars can go up to 60 kilometers per hour speed limit dito sa Quezon Ave. And if you stop, right, either the car right behind you isn't able to brake in time, or cars far behind you are gonna begin braking from high speeds. So, newbie error or not, no one is excused, right? So, yun yung pinaglalaban ni James Deacon. But right now, the conversation is pretty much split in the middle. Say it, Mock. Say you didn't say it. Say somebody who isn't me. Somebody who isn't me. If he did it way before the exit, he will not be flagged. The thing daw na ginawa niya is that he did it in front. I mean, yeah, the enforcer is right there, right? But whether or not there are cameras everywhere here, right? Pagdating sa Skyway, and double yellow lane is a double yellow lane. You can't cross that. Period. I'm not sure if it's at 60 kilometers per hour at this time, seeing how all of these cars are stacked. Pero tama nga, may consideration ba if mabagal naman yung galaw ng mga kotse? But look at this one. Isn't this one, and isn't this image? Isn't this image enough to justify it? Like, tinan nyo yung bara na ginawa ng kotse na to. Right? Yung anak ni James Deacon, and nabakante yung buong harap. How long was he trying to squeeze himself in? What if the other cars behind were actually going fast? It's unless we have the video, it's tough to substantiate our claims. I'm not sure if in the LTO video or in the LTO press con pinakita nila yung video. His original post reeked of virtue signaling following the rule of law, tas wala palang registration or plate yung kotse. Deacon needs to check himself and reassess. I don't like this comment. I think that's ad hominem. I kept no reservations about reckless driving on top of the illegal lane change since wala namang proof or evidence of what really happened. So just based on the CCTV and volume of traffic, I kinda get why the officer gave him reckless. Kung maluwag siguro yung traffic, they can dispute the additional violation. Pero kung ganyan ka-traffic and at that point talaga siya nag-lane change, may konting merit yung reckless. Okay, I think I get what you're saying, Mock. Okay. Ooh. Did somebody fly PAL before?
Bro, from a legal perspective, the definition of reckless driving is ought to have known, aka a reasonable person in Deakin's son's shoes ought to have known that his actions will be dangerous.
Okay, so going by that, right? Ought to have known. But he didn't. He didn't because he's a new driver. Is that enough to excuse him from being ought to have known? I mean, I get it. If you ought to have known, right? Ano ba ang ought? He ought. Duty or correctness. Probable. He ought to have known. Pero hindi. I mean, if that's a technical word we're using, baka ma-excuse pa siya dahil newbie siya. Should have, ought. Or no, am I understanding ought wrong? Yeah, I get you, Romeo, na medyo baliktad yung comment na kapag mabagal yung traffic, reckless. Pero kapag mabilis yung traffic, hindi reckless. Based on this comment na medyo baliktad nga, no? LTO is just making excuses. The original ticket was for improper lane changing. If the driver wasn't able to provide documents, shouldn't the apprehending officer add another violation for failure to carry ORCR? But they didn't. LTO got exposed and is now trying to justify that reckless driving.
No, it's a reasonable person ought to have known, not exactly the son. Kumbaga, a regular driver ought to have known that his actions are dangerous.
So he ought to have known, regardless of his level of driving proficiency. Man, it's getting really it's getting strange. Nagiging there are now two camps forming clearly. One is the camp that's saying LTO is just making excuses because they got exposed, and then the other side is saying na James Deacon is making excuses himself just to cover up a bigger issue. I'm not going to defend LTO kasi di mga santo yan. For sure maraming kalokohan dyan. But let's be clear who made the violation. It wasn't LTO. Deacon wasn't exposing anything we already know. But the charge is not something incorrect. The LTO did explain it well and indicate that while holiday sucks, there were opportunities given for Deacon's son to settle or file a counter. Don't be fooled by a person who is trying to make a violation downgraded by your bias against a lowly regarded government office. See? That's what I'm saying, chat. Two camps right now. One is defending LTO. One is defending James Deacon for whatever reason. Sabi ni Office Ninja, say what you want. May mapapalong bata. So, this is also a big focus na sa dami ng holidays, malabo na yung 15 days magagawa nila. Hindi tinitingnan yung status ng driver at the time of the incident, but what a reasonable driver would have known. That's why it's considered an objective test. So kapag ganun ba, Gio, ibig sabihin kailangan panindigan na nung LTO? Like any considerations, any leeway, tapos na yung window for that? So it could be both of them in the wrong? Wait, how about we watch the actual LTO scene? Ayan, no? Okay, let's do this. It's everywhere right now. Vlogger James Deacon. Alright, let's go check it out. James Deacon. Okay.
Pinagot na po ng LTO ang hinaing ng transportation vlogger na si James Deacon sa umunay malabong sistema ng ahensya tungkol raw sa pagtutubos ng lisensya. At live mula sa Quezon City, nasa frontline po ng balitang yan, si Gerard de la Peña. Gerard, ano ba ang paglilinaw o ano ba ang eksplanasyon dito ng LTO?
Ruth, tama, tinapos na nga ng Land Transportation Office yung investigasyon nito kaugnay doon sa reklamo ng transport vlogger na si James Deacon doon sa violation na ipinataw ng LTO sa kanyang anak. Sa isang press conference na ipinatawag mismo ng LTO kanina ay unang sinagot ni LTO Chief Marcos Lacanilaw ang hinihinging paglilinaw ni Deacon kaugnay sa pagpataw ng violation na reckless driving sa kanyang anak na baguhan pa lang sa pagmamaneho. Ayon kay Lacanilaw, base sa CCTV footage sa pagkakahuli o apprehension kay Deacon, naging sanhi ng traffic ang pagtawid nito sa dobleng dilaw na linya sa Quezon Avenue exit.
I want the actual press con. LTO James Deacon. The actual press con. Do we have access to that? Yun, 33 minutes. What the hell?
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Nag-request po kami regarding dito sa press con para dun sa hinaing o reklamo ni Mr. James Deacon dun sa nangyari sa kanyang anak. Nabanggit ko kahapon,
Not sure I got it, Gio.
press release na aming iimbestigahan ang pangyayari, yung aligasyon at yung reklamo niya. So, sinimulan namin kanina umaga, tinapos namin within 3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours, man. 3 hours. Imagine that. That's valuable government time spent on one violation. Pero alam niyo naman, di ba, kapag may nagva-viral na traffic violation, ang bilis umaksyon ng government.
Tayo hindi perfecto. Maraming ahensya ng gobyerno hindi perfecto. Pero meron pa rin mga matitindi.
Oh man, they even have the calendar here. Oh, ito na.
During those 15 calendar days. Sa kaso po niya, nangyari po ito noong December 18. Ilang araw pa yung mga may pasok po? Almost 5 days na pasok pa. So marami pang pasok po. So,
okay, so 18. Nung 18 yun, may pasok pa raw nung 19, 20, 21. Wala naman ng 20. Well, technically, kung red to, mga walang pasok to, di ba? Bakit 11 holiday? Bakit holiday ang 11? So, but basically, pag Saturday is closed din, di ba? Kaya nga naka-red to eh, di ba? If you can see it here, it's in red, chat. Red yung Saturdays nila. So, technically, if 18 yung violation, they only really have 1, 2, 3, 4 days. I don't think that's fair. I genuinely don't think that's fair. 18 yung violation, do they expect the person to go there right away the next day? Hirap. Saturdays are no-go, Sundays are no-go. Then, daming holidays dito. So, this is, I think it's not a good, pagdating sa usapan ng 15 days para tubusin yung lisensya or 15 days para magbigay ng counter or ng appeal. I don't think LTO is in the winning side here. Sobrang, that's on a lot of days. Okay?
Naganap po ang apprehension sa panahon ng Kapaskuhan. Inaasahan po na may mga araw na sarado talaga tanggapan ng pamahalaan. Dahil dito, dapat po ay isaalang-alang ng motorista ang mga umiiral na holidays at schedule ng opisina sa pag-aasikaso ng kanyang obligasyon sa loob ng ikitanaktang panahon. And klaruhin ko lang po, wala pong opisina ng gobyerno ng Sabado, which is yung December 27 na pumunta sila.
Ayun, yun na nga. So, wala, di ba? So, yan, siya mismo nag-clarify. Saturday, wala. So, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? Really, just 4 days. And then, nung nagpunta sila on the 26th, if I'm not mistaken, di ba sinabi niya nagpunta sila sa 26? Which, you know, arguably is fine. Nung napunta sila ng 26, ang dami pa palang anomalya. Hiningan pa sila ng ORCR. And they couldn't provide it.
Ang apprehension sa panahon ng Kapaskuhan, inaasahan po na may mga araw na sarado talaga tanggapan ng pamahalaan. Dahil dito, dapat po ay isaalang-alang ng motorista ang mga umiiral na holidays at schedule ng opisina sa pag-aasikaso ng kanyang obligasyon sa loob ng ikitanaktang panahon. And klaruhin ko lang po, wala pong opisina ng gobyerno ng Sabado.
Alright.
Which is yung December 27 na pumunta sila.
Alright.
Okay. So, yung picture ng...
There you go. So they show the picture next.
Ito po yung nangyari. Okay.
Alright, here we go. The breakdown according to the LTO head himself.
Kitang-kita niyo naman po, ako bumabiyahe ako sa Quezon Avenue. Batangas ako eh. Yun hong Skyway, pag umexit kayo ng Quezon Avenue, meron doon nakalagay 1 kilometers or 500 meters bago mag-exit. Kitang-kita niyo naman po na ang sinasabi po kasi na traffic naman. Pumasok po eh. Tapos nasa harap pa ng enforcer nung pumasok. Skyway po yan. Lahat po tayo dito nagmamaneho kung gaano kabilis sa Skyway. Pag nangyari yan, kailangan lumabas na lang tayo. Kasi baka mabangga siya.
I get the argument though that it can go both ways. If it's yun yung mahirap eh. Naintindihan ko both ways, right? It's reckless driving if all the cars are fast and then you suddenly squeeze yourself into the other lane because now all the cars have to slow down. Right? I also get how it could be reckless driving if there is traffic and it's slow because now there are more people close by who can be involved in your reckless driving. But I kind of get the case for both. I just don't know how to word myself here. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. May isang comment dito na nakalagay na huwag natin kalimutan. The violation is real. Now we're just playing around with what kind of violations on top of the going over the double yellow line should be imposed or should be done onto the James Deacon's son. So, may ganon, right? Like, I don't know, like, at this point, I'm still trying to find out where the mistake is, if it's from both ends or if it's just from one end. The reasonable person test. We don't care about what you personally felt. We care about normal, sensible person. So, bawal maging ignorant in short. I mean, di ba? Ignorance of the law does not excuse anybody. Is that basically it? Right, Gio?
Ay siya yung nag-cause ng traffic eh. Mabibilis yung sasakyan. Buti, hindi siya natumbok. Yun yung sinasabi ko bakit reckless. Reckless yan. Kasi bigla kang sumingit pumasok at hindi po traffic na yung nasa lugar. Kita-kita nyo naman siya yung...
I wanna see the video. Okay? Siguro yun yung magiging takeaway ko dito. I get what's going on here. They're trying to make a case that it's reckless kasi wala raw traffic. And may kita mo rin naman sa video na dito banda, 'di ba? Sa kung makita ninyo, dito banda sa ayan, right? Ang laki nung naibakante at na argabyado yung mga nasa likod na kotse. I get that. I get how it could be. I get how that could be annoying, right? But what I don't understand so far is their definition of reckless. Okay? Yun yung hindi ko masyadong nagagrasp ngayon. Their definition of reckless seems to change depending on how convenient its usage is for what they want to justify. So sa ngayon, parang I'm a little skeptical. I'm a little skeptical about the reckless part. For sure, there's a violation. For sure, nagkamali. For sure, ang daming naperwisyo ng mga driver dito, mga vehicles dito. But as far as reckless goes, I think we're gonna have to see the video. Right? Because right now, parang nagiging flex. Hello. There you go. So, what is... I mean, the only way we're gonna find out kung reckless ba talaga ito based on, the broad definition of their broad definition of reckless is kung makita natin yung video. Because, if you ask me, judging by the way this looks, I have a hunch cars weren't going fast. We need to see the video. 'Di ba? We need to see the video if this is actually reckless by definition.
Reckless yan. Kasi bigla kang sumingit pumasok at hindi po traffic na yung nasa lugar. Kita-kita nyo naman, siya yung nag-cause ng traffic tapos pumasok.
Because I don't think... okay, na-define yung reckless. Chat, na-define niya yung ibig sabihin ng reckless. Biglaan siyang sumingit ng hindi traffic. Yun yung definition ng reckless. And so we go to one of the comments that said na if bigla kang sumingit at maraming mabibilis na kotse sa likod mo, either they're not able to brake in time or they're going at a fast speed and they see you, they have to brake all of a sudden, causing probable danger for other motorists on the road. I don't think that's the case. Yes, siguro biglaan siyang sumingit, right? But I don't think that it was reckless. I think the reason why nag-clear up itong harapan nila is because hindi siya pinapasingit ng mga kotse dito. Right? I think everybody was going at a speed not necessarily safe but slow enough na kapag bigla siya, quote-unquote, sumingit, hindi naman magkakos ng wild accident yung pagsingit niya. So, I'm a little skeptical to call this reckless.
Reckless yan. Kasi bigla kang sumingit pumasok at hindi po
show the video!
Na yung nasa lugar. Kita-kita nyo naman, siya yung nag-cause ng traffic tapos pumasok siya doon. Sa harap pa ng enforcer mismo. Kung nakalinya po yan, traffic, at kadalasan nangyayari po yan sa Quezon Avenue. Kasi single lane lang yun. Hilera tayo sa single lane. Okay.
If that's done already, 12 minutes pa lang, what did they talk about for the next 20 minutes?
Ito kanina, sinokos namin ang dealer. Bakit? Kasi walang papeles yung sasakyan, tumatakbo sa daan. Walang ORCR, walang sales invoice to the buyer. Bagkus ang pinakita sa amin ay sales invoice ng importer to the distributor. So, kailangan magpaliwanag ng dealer bakit siya naglalabas ng sasakyan ng walang papeles.
Ooh. That's a big issue, isn't it? Wala talagang papel yung kotse. Ang pinakita lang daw, sales invoice from the dealer to the distributor. That's bound to get messy, right?
Pangalawa, nag-showcase din naman kami doon sa enforcer. Kasi para mas malinaw yung mga nais na sabihin ng enforcer. So, ito, nag-submit din kami ng subpoena kay Mr. Dicken doon sa kanyang anak kung papaano siya dapat na kung bakit siya dapat magpaliwanag na hindi siya dapat i-charge ng reckless. Kung tutusin kasi dapat double reckless yun kasi pag sasakyan mo, walang papel hindi registered. Tapos, ito pang nangyari, kita-kita nyo naman dito. So,
double reckless. Double reckless na siya dahil wala rin daw ORCR. See, medyo broad yung definition ng reckless nila. Because reckless now means kapag wala ka ring ORCR, reckless yun. But I'm not sure if that's reckless a violation or reckless adjective.
Sa akin naman, sa amin sa LTO, yung mga kababayan natin, sana maging responsable tayo, lalo na sa pagmamaneho. Hindi porque hindi natin alam ang batas, ay excuse tayo doon. Hindi po pwede yun. maging responsible.
That's true. Ito yung sinasabi ni Gio kanina. Ignorance of the law does not exempt you from violating it.
Sabi po tayong mamamayan, lalo na kapag tayo po ay maglalabas ng mga hinaing, lalo na magkakaroon po kasi ng confusion. Kung mag-imbestiga.
Okay, so this is the LTO chief, I suppose, just telling James to keep it low-key next time because it's gonna create panic and confusion, and nobody likes that. But at the same time, what choice do we have these days, right? Government only tends to move kapag na-call out sila through social media.
Kami talaga check namin. So, nakikita ko na nare-reform at marami pa rin kung matitino. Lahat tayo hindi perfecto. Marami ngayon sa gobyerno, investigation kami. Pero gusto kong makuha yung formal, baka meron pa siya may dagdag. Pumasok, nasa harap niya mismo.
Okay, so now it seems like they are going to be calling in James Deacon to make his case. And hopefully we get more clarity from there. But as of now, we have no clarity.
Under investigation po siya, kagaya po nito, may mga na-found out po kami na mga additional na violations, kagaya po nung sasakyan.
Yun na nga. They have that card against him now. Obstruction for sure. Reckless driving, we don't know. But the other issue now being brought into light is yung absence ng ORCR. Or bakit hindi registered yung vehicle. Right? You can't exactly be driving an unregistered vehicle on the road. So there you go. There's that. And moving forward, now we know a little bit more pagdating dun. Okay? So some people are also a bit non-partisan here. They don't care about James. They don't care about the LTO. Ang pakialam lang nila, naging public to para magbigya para dumiretso yung LTO. Yep. Here, look at this one. Another take. Personally, napakalaking red flag. Yung screenshot lang ang nagawang ipakita ng LTO at hindi yung actual video. Hindi mo kasi mag-gauge ang vehicle speed at circumstances sa pag-cross ng linya, which is aminado naman sina Deacon na totoong nangyari. Malamang mabagal lang yan kasi choke point talaga ang lugar na yan since maraming katulad ng anak ni Deacon na illegal na nag-cross dyan. Yung driving an unregistered vehicle na violation, mere afterthought na lang yan kasi kung talagang hindi rehistrado o walang napakitang legit documentations during the incident, then how come hindi na impound yung sasakyan right there and then? Supposed to be impounded yan since standard SOP ang hanapan ng LTO ng ORCR with driver's license kapag mag-issue ng traffic citation or ticket. Sa totoo lang, I'm pissed with the media practitioners present in the LTO press conference this morning that nobody even bothered to ask bakit hindi na impound yung sasakyan. By the way, mukhang may red tape dun sa ORCR requirements sa pagbayad o claim ng lisensya sa LTO. Abangan ang susunod na mga kabanata ngayon na kay Arta na ang bola. Okay. Okay, wait, so we have an update from James Deacon. James Deacon, let's go to his Facebook. James Deacon Facebook. My update. Just got off a Zoom meeting with Anti-Red Tape Authority, and I have to say I'm genuinely impressed. The hearing ran almost an hour. The LTO lawyer spent most of it delivering long-winding explanations full of legalese. The ARTA lawyer cut through it all with one simple question. In your citizens charter, is requiring an ORCR one of your official requirements when settling a traffic violation? It took forever to get a straight answer. After repeated prodding and more legal jargon, the ARTA lawyer finally pressed for a yes or no. The answer was no, and that alone made it a clear violation of the ease of doing business law. So thank you, ARTA. Seriously, thank you. People have all but given up on the gross incompetence and bureaucracy of many government agencies, and here you are shining like a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. My biggest concern through all of this was teaching my son that rules matter, that we improve as a society by following them. The LTO let me down badly, and it cut deep, but at least now I can tell him there's accountability even when government agencies don't play the rules. That means something. Eh, o nga, no? In fairness, in teaching your son, you actually exposed how the LTO tried to protect themselves instead of fixing the issue at hand. Ooh. Now we're getting closer to our answer. We're getting closer to our answer. Hindi kailangan ng ORCR to settle a traffic violation. Okay? So now, the car being unregistered is a totally different thing. Why is it on the road? Totally different thing. Is it okay for it to be on the road? Probably another issue. But as far as this open-ended question was, na required ba ang ORCR to settle a traffic violation? The answer is no. And that kind of helps James Deacon's case na dapat hindi sila aabot sa 15 days. Okay? Hindi sana sila aabot sa 15 days kung hindi required yung ORCR in the first place. Wow. Most relevant. So there you go, chat. I mean, that's just one thing answered. There are still so many other details that have yet to be solved. Wala pa mga resolution yung ibang details. Anyway, that's that. Stay tuned. I'm sure may update pa to bukas. Right? May update pa to bukas. And we won't know the answers until then. Yeah, see, there's really naysayers pagdating kay Deacon. Paano naging newsworthy to? Parang pasimpleng ginagamit ni Deacon ng clout niya. Malungkot lang na kailangan pang maranasan ng sikat na tao yung nararanasan ng mga regular na mamamayan para lang ma-call out yung mga government agency dahil sa mga pangit na sistema nila. So yeah, I mean, that's a fair counter. Doesn't exactly answer it. Paano to naging newsworthy? Maybe it's not, but at least it exposes government agencies that should act or know better. Hey LJ, nakauwi ka na ba? Sounds like his son lied to him. Oh no. Oh no, what if that too, huh? May ganyan din. Look, see? Marami talagang haters. Maybe James Deacon should consider shutting his mouth before throwing a fit on social media. Sometimes you just gotta take the L. Mali naman niya. Yes, merong mali rin ng LTO. Pero if you're going to lambast someone on social media, make sure na wala kang dumi. What is James Deacon's dirt anyway? Parang wala naman, di ba? Like, he just, like, that's the hate he gets. He kind of gets his way because he's very articulate and is able to leverage his clout. Yun na yun, di ba? Meron ba siya talagang objectively na ginawang mali? Like, I really don't know, chat. I'm not, I haven't really followed his story growing up. Anywho, I'm glad we covered that. We can move on. Okay, what else is hot? For 30 pesos, may 50 in one weekend entertainment ka na. Who do you think is one of the most underrated Pinay beauties? Who are these people, chat? Am I getting old? Wala na akong kilala dito. Oh, Brett and Keith? No, hold on. Bretman Rock's TikTok. Bretman Rock is only 27?
Girl, get into this glass skin. Who got me glassing like this?
Girl, let me tell you. A few weeks ago, Lanesh took me to Seoul to be one of the...
What's the update?
Guys, look who I found. Guys, look who I...
What's the update? That's it? That he just reposted it? That's it, right? Ni-repost niya lang. So not a big update. Other than ni-repost niya. Yeah, there. Ni-repost niya.
Yeah, my family are white. Paho, why?
I don't know if there's a way to comment. I don't know if there's a way for Bretman Rock to comment and get out of this without any scratches. I feel like yun na yun. Him reposting it, Bretman reposting it, that's it. I doubt we're gonna hear anything. I think that is in itself an acknowledgement that what he did could have been wrong. Yeah, wala na yun. Bron? What happened to LeBron? Wala na, yun na yun. I don't think magko-comment na si Bretman. I think Bretman reposting it just gives more exposure to the comments, which is, I think, what he wanted to do. Yes! Gio, kamusta nga pala? Wait. Scale of 1 to 10. Wednesday, first day mo today, diba? SC, most nights are anyway, right? Don't you think so? Like, lonely is a state of mind. 9.5, let's go. W first day at work, Gio. Let's go. Have a good rest and update tomorrow. Yeah, wala na. This is it. I think there's nothing more to it. And I don't think Bretman is going to be speaking about anything, especially after just now posting about this brand. Talaga ba? So meron ngang secret episode. So it's true, there is a secret episode. See you, bro. Love you. There's a... What's got to? Got to believe? This is such an old film. Manunod ka nito, SC? I'ma watch Got to Believe and cry. You do you, bro. You deserve a good cry if you're feeling it deep down. I saw that last night. So meron nga. See the distinguished gentleman? Oh, it's me. Yeah. No, kailangan may kwelyo tayo. Like mini kwelyo. Because tonight, chat, we're gonna be talking about an important topic. So, looks like there's gonna be an episode. May nabasa lang ako na the last episode of Stranger Things was so bad, everybody is coping and hoping that there's a secret episode. Alright, G, you want to talk about it? I'm not so sure, and I don't want to know if we have friends from BPI watching because that might make me extra nervous. But you guys want to talk about BPI? I don't want to shove the topic of BPI down your throats, but I want to look at it from an actual educational perspective. Like, I want to talk about this because I really want to open up opportunities for everybody who's looking to invest. Because behind the scenes, chat, it's one of the questions that I get most from different members of our community. And because I don't really like talking about it online, because giving financial advice is in itself dangerous. Behind the scenes, if you chat with me and you ask me kung ano yung, what comments I can give on this platform or on that platform, or if you should put your money here or there, first of all, again, not financial advice, but as somebody who's always been low-key into this type of thing, I'm more than happy to reply. And that's why now that we have an actual brand deal collaboration with BPI, again, the way I want to talk about this is through education. Yeah. It's going to be one of those streams, huh? The whiteboard stream. Okay, chat. So, what I would recommend is if you have a second device with you that can also access the internet, go get it. Because today we're going to be taking a quiz. That's going to be the meat. That's going to be the meat of this execution. May quiz tayo na gagawin. And I want us all to do this quiz. It's a 10-question quiz, if I'm not mistaken. I myself haven't taken the quiz para hindi ako ma-spoil. But it's going to be an assessment. It's going to be BPI's assessment on anong klaseng investor ka. Because depending on what kind... I'll talk about that more later. But basically, 10-question quiz lang siya. If you have a second device, I'll send you the link in just a bit. Okay? I-ano lang natin. Let's just properly introduce the topic. GGG, let's talk about it, chat. Let's talk about our BPI collab today. Let me pull up all the links that I saved here so that we could talk about something else afterwards. Okay, G. It's not the wealth builder quiz. It's a different one. It's much. I think it's their own attack or their own twist or flavor to the assessment. Okay. So let's start from the top, chat. So for those not familiar, BPI Wealth is the investment arm of BPI. So now, if you've ever thought of where to place your money, okay, it's 2026. I have savings. I understand that savings on its own depreciate over time because if it doesn't get enough interest, nagde-diminish yung value niya. And that's a fact, chat. That's why nagmamahal ang bilihin because of inflation. So I don't want to go too deep into that. But generally speaking, the value of money goes down in time. That is why yung 1,000 pesos mo ngayon can only buy so much right now, because back then, 1,000 pesos could buy way more things, right? You just keep rolling it back. Roll it back 20 years, 1,000 pesos is probably enough for a couple days worth of groceries. Today, 1,000 pesos, parang 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Back then, you could stretch that 1,000 pesos far much further. So now the idea is, where do I invest my money? And this is not yet the intro. The intro is going to be a little bit more scripted. So I'm just running off the cuff here. Where do you put your money? Now, there are many different platforms. I won't talk about all the other platforms, but I'm going to be talking about one where I also put my money in. It's BPI Wealth. Now, if you open your BPI app, and I'm assuming you have one, meron na kayong access sa BPI Wealth and sa products na ino-offer ng BPI Wealth. And again, this is slightly off topic, but BPI Wealth offers many products, right? You could invest your money. You can invest your money in stocks. You can invest your money in stocks and bonds. You can invest your money in ETFs, in mutual funds, in baskets. So it's very, very... There are a lot of products, in short. And that can get very confusing, especially for someone who's trying to look at where they want to invest their money in. Lalo na kung baguhan, di ba? Where do I put my money? Okay ba stocks ngayon? Okay ba bonds ngayon? How about mutual funds? May pinagkaiba ba siya sa ETFs? Right? Where do I put my money? And that can get very confusing. And this is where the assessment or BPI VIA gets into the picture. When you take this assessment, when you take the BPI Wealth assessment, you are able to find out kung ano yung tipong klaseng investor ka. Kung anong klaseng investor ka. So we'll take that test and I'll explain to you more later why it's important to know what kind of investor you are. But let's start with the introduction, the official introduction. Now, before we start the quiz chat, I'm going to give you the link. Please go to this link. It is bit.ly/BPIVIA. bit.ly/BPIVIA. Once you've accessed it, let me know. Because dyan natin makikita yung quiz. So while you're accessing it, I will give the intro that I have to read out loud because this is the approved intro. Okay, I just have to memorize the first line. What if I told you that investing has never been easier? What if I told you that investing has now gotten easier? As in tailor-fit according to your personality and financial goals. You don't have to take my word for it. You can trust BPI VIA instead. BPI VIA is BPI's virtual investment advisor. And in the next minute, I'll walk you through what happens as it helps me figure out where to put my money. Okay, that's the intro. All right, chat, come on. Let's get it. Once we're here, I'll give you a minute to access it, bit.ly/BPIVIA, and then we can rock. Quick 1 minute. When you go to the website that I mentioned, you are going to end up landing on you are gonna end up here. bit.ly/BPIVIA. You will end up here. Meet your virtual investment advisor. Okay? Di makapasok, bit.ly/BPI via. Okay. Let's start. Okay, so when you go to the website, it is going to... You don't have to log in, chat, okay? When you get to the website, you are going to be welcomed by this image of VIA, aka your virtual investment advisor. It's nice that they personified the advisor or the investment advisor by calling it a name, BPI VIA. Nope, no need to log in. No need to log in. We're gonna do it together, chat. Okay, so I'll read this one for you. Discover VIA. Not sure where to put your money? Meet VIA, your virtual investment advisor from BPI Wealth. Think of VIA as your friendly guide to investing. Interactive, on-demand, digital, always ready when you are. It breaks down concepts in an easy, conversational way, asks about your goals, and gives recommendations that make sense for you. No complicated terms, no need to rush, just guidance that helps you learn and invest at your own pace. And then, once you're ready, chat, we're gonna press on the play button. Ito mismo yung magiging ano natin. Ito yung magiging mismo assessment area natin. Assessment time natin. No need to log in. No need to log in again. Okay, let's do it, chat. Let's start. Literally, you don't need to put the referral code. We'll just skip that. And then we will now just press start. I like the music. It's like the perfect ad break. By the way, please buy my snacks now. Use referral code BENIFAM. I'll lower the music. I like the music. Chill lang, chill lang. Okay. Okay. So, we're gonna start. Wait, I want it to be... I don't want it to be that wide, but I want it to be wide enough. This should be good enough. Let me just turn off everything else. Yan. Okay, let's do it. BPI via Virtual Investment Advisor. Start. Basically just standard paperwork. Okay, I understand. Please choose your preferred language. English. Props to my
Hi,
Taglish.
good day. I am Via, your virtual investment advisor. I am here to
Chad, low-key looks like me, don't you think? Oh man, what if they get your profile picture and then superimpose it here on Via?
help you start your investment journey. Throughout our journey, I will be asking questions about your financial preferences, sharing investment concepts, and presenting investment options to help you achieve your financial goals. Kindly click the Proceed button to start your investment journey.
You think she's a real person? Kinda looks like AI. But then again, no, could be a real
Proceed
person.
button to start your investment journey.
The mouth looks weird, that's why.
Financial goals. Kindly click the Proceed button to start your investment journey.
Hey, Fish Fiend. Sabi, come on, go ahead. Press the proceed. What happens if you run the timer? What happens if you run the timer? Nothing's gonna happen. Okay, proceed.
When
What
it comes
is-
to investments, always remember, the higher the return, the higher the risk. So, Let's start your investment journey by finding out your comfort level when it comes to investing money.
That's
Are
exactly
you the
what.
type of investor who prioritizes safety
Wait,
and stability?
Via. Okay, so chat. That's exactly what I've been telling you earlier. One of the reasons why there is an assessment that is oftentimes required whenever you invest in these financial instruments is because depending on your risk appetite, yun din yung products na i-recommend sa'yo when you're done taking the quiz. Because it really depends, right? And it's not necessarily just because of what kind of person you are, or sorry, it's not just because of what kind of personality you have. Are you more risk averse, or do you like taking on more risk? Diba? It's not, do you like taking on more risks, or are you more risk averse? It's not really so much just about that. It's also about, it could be about anything, how much savings you have, whether you're at a certain age, because typically the younger you are, the more time you have to kind of watch the market go through its peaks and valleys. 'Di ba? Minsan sobrang galing, sobrang ganda nung ekonomiya, babagsak, gaganda pero mas maganda, tapos babagsak, tapos gaganda pa ng mas maganda, tapos babagsak. And usually when you're younger, you have time to go through all of that. When you're a bit on the older side, you're now a little bit more risk averse. 'Di ba? Depende talaga sa circumstances eh. You could be having a family, right? If you're a single individual, if you're a dink, right? Dual income, no kids, you're also your tendency is also to be more, your appetite for risk also tends to be higher. So, talagang kailangan yung assessment na to for the product, for BPI Wealth, for BPI Via to be able to recommend you the products that matches your personality. So I would say at my age, chat, I'm still pretty aggressive.
When you invest? Or are you somebody who is willing to take on more risk to get more returns from your investment? There are 4 risk classifications to choose from: conservative, moderately aggressive, and aggressive.
Hi, Mommy Keiko.
When you open your investment account with BPI, you will be asked to take a client suitability assessment to evaluate your risk profile. But for the purposes of our session, please choose the risk classification that you think best describes your risk personality.
All right, give me aggressive.
Now, let's talk about your investment objective. By knowing your main purpose for investing, we can determine the optimal strategy to achieve your financial goals. Is your goal to prioritize building your emergency fund? Or perhaps you're preparing to set aside money for your loved ones, like paying for their tuition fee or traveling with them. It could also be that you are looking for options to grow your wealth or to prepare for your retirement. Please select the goal that best describes your investment objective.
Honestly, I think well, I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. So maybe it's not yet prepare for my retirement, but maybe grow what wealth I have at this point.
Now that you've shared your investment objective, I want to know your investment horizon, or how long you can remain invested. Are you looking at investing for only 1 year or less? Or perhaps you are looking at investing for the medium term. Or maybe you can afford holding on to a long-term investment, meaning you can remain invested for more than 5 years.
This is what I'm saying. Remember earlier when I said, chat, na economies rise and then they take a break, they cool off, then they rise higher, then bababa na naman, because that's just the nature of that's just the cyclical nature of things and progress. So typically, if your investment horizon is long-term, 5 years or more, you're able to withstand even times when bagsak yung ekonomiya, because you're not going to be needing that money in the next 5 years or within the next 5 years. That's why tinatanong kung ano yung investment horizon mo. Because if you need the money next year, talagang short term. And anybody can have any reason for that, right? Maybe short term lang talaga yung gusto kong investment because I'm looking at a big expense next year. So, of course, I still want to grow my money. In the meantime, short term ako. It could be medium term or like what I mentioned earlier, long term if you're if you're able to withstand the cyclical nature of economies going up and down.
Please select your answer.
I'm going long term, baby. I've always been a long term guy. Let's do long term.
At this point, I want to know if you are looking at investing your pesos or your US dollars, or maybe you are open to invest in both currencies.
I only have pesos in my account. I'm not sure if that's the question that's being asked here or if it means na pwede rin tayo invest in international issues or international instruments. So for now, I'm going to do Philippine peso.
Now, down to my last question. Is this your
Only 7 questions. Chat, you can't. If this is the end, okay, let's see in a bit. But if this is the end of this assessment, why bother skipping this? This is literally the bridge from wanting to invest and not knowing where to put your money to a place where you can actually tangibly invest your money in. Again, only 7 questions. So this bridges that gap, right? And this is very good. This is very good.
What would you like to do before I discuss my investment recommendation? Please select from the given options.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Via, please repeat yourself. Ano yun?
What would you like to do before
Oh, that's a good thing too. In case you're like me and hindi kayo nakikinig, you could always just rewind so that you could listen to BPI Via.
What would you like to do before I discuss my investment recommendation? Please select from the given options.
Okay, so apparently there are only 6 questions. Because by the 7th chapter or the 7th question, pwede mo nang marinig yung recommendations ni BPI Via, or look at other reminders or know the basics of investments. So just so we don't skip right to the end just yet, I wonder what options appear when we tap on or click on listen to investment reminders. Diba? Okay to sa mga short attention span. I mean, if you're watching this video, chances are you don't have a short attention span kasi pinapanood nyo pa rin yung video na to.
Here are some reminders before we start your investment journey. First, the prices of investment funds, also known as net asset value per unit or net asset value per share, are already net of applicable taxes and fees. This means that whenever you subscribe or buy units or shares of our investment fund, you are already buying at net price. There are no extra charges. In the future, if you decide to sell or redeem your
Look, even this one, itong reminders nila is only 2 minutes. Okay? Which is pretty neat. Look at that. And it's chapter 2. So that it's very easy to understand. In case you don't understand something, you need BPI Via to say it again. Ang daling balikan ng mga chapters. So I think the idea here is that apart from the assessment section where BPI Via goes and recommends to you kung ano yung products that best fit your investment personality or your investment personality, there is this educational aspect where BPI Via is also here to help you learn about what you're going to get yourselves into once you invest with BPI Wealth. Very, very helpful because, again, it's very beginner-friendly.
investment, there won't be any deductions from your redemption proceeds. However, some of our investment funds have early redemption charge if you redeem within the holding period. Second,
That's why also very important na malaman ni BPI Via kung ano yung investment horizon mo. Gaano katagal kang mag-i-invest. Because look at this. some funds have early redemption charge and holding period. Now you know.
Some of our investment funds have early redemption charge if you redeem within the holding period. Second, you must also transact within the fund's cutoff time to be included in the day's transaction. You may still transact beyond cutoff or during weekends, but the order will be considered for the next business day. Third, please be reminded that proceeds of your investment will be available 1 or several days after you redeem. You may check our fund's settlement schedule
That's
from
fair.
our website.
That's fair. That's fair.
Fourth, returns of investment funds are neither fixed nor guaranteed. These are not insured by the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation or PDIC, since investment funds are not deposit products. Historical returns are provided only as reference in
makes
how the
sense.
funds have performed over the years. Lastly, in case the required risk level of your chosen investment is higher than your risk profile, you have to understand the additional
Ooh.
risks you are taking.
Hey, this is something that's underrated. I actually okay, so remember when I told you earlier that I've also invested on other platforms? Normally what happens is once you're given, let's say, low risk appetite ka lang, you're not somebody who the platform feels should invest in riskier products, automatic haharangan na kaagad yung mga products na yun. Because the last thing that platform would want to happen is for you to invest your money in something you don't know at all. Here with BPI Wealth and with BPI Via, my waiver. So BPI Wealth is still going to allow you to invest your money in higher risk instruments, but yun lang, may waiver na because BPI Via does give you the recommendations that fit your personality or your financial personality.
Sign a waiver to push through with your subscription. Thank you for listening to these
That's good.
reminders. Kindly select from the options to proceed.
Know the basics of investments. I'm G for that. I swear, if this is not a long video, super helpful. 3 minutes?
Before
Not bad. Chat. The only thing, okay, let me get this straight. The only thing that's blocking you from needing to invest and actually investing is about 6 minutes of orientation. Apart from that, only maybe 4 minutes of answering the rest of the quiz. In total, 10 minutes. So let's say that again. The only thing that's possibly blocking you from needing to invest and actually investing is 10 minutes of your time. And within that 10 minutes, not only do you get properly assessed by BPI Via, but you also get educated and informed as you go through the assessment process. So I really want to encourage you to go through this because it's very helpful. Okay, panoorin natin tong investment discussion with BPI. Diba? And I mean, let's be real, right? I think at a certain point, this question always comes to mind. This is off the record, off the video. This is not going to be a part of it, but it crosses our minds for sure. I'm not going to be able to work forever. I'm going to want to, at one day, maybe hopefully retire. And in the meantime, I also want to grow the amount of money that I have. Lalo na yung nakatambak lang sa savings. Sana all may savings, diba? But kung may savings, gusto ko syempre mas lumago yun. This is it, man. This is it. So there are times I ask myself, and I'm not so sure if you ask yourself this one too, pero saan ba ako mag-i-invest? Saan ba ako mag-i-invest? Where am I gonna put my money? What am I gonna do with my money? Saan ko ba to pwede ilagay para lumago? Okay? And I have money with BPI Wealth. And I've had my money with them for quite some time. And I'm not gonna tell you that BPI Wealth or putting your money in investment products is guaranteed money or guaranteed wealth. Again, we're talking about investment horizons. May mga times na in any economic cycle of 10 to 25 years, maraming peaks and valleys yan. Maraming pataas, pababa. Just to give you a good example of this, in the Philippines, we're essentially where we are 10 years ago. In the US, all-time highs. But you all know what's going on with the US right now, right? Medyo turbulent ang political geopolitics natin sa buong mundo. So, depending on your investment horizon talaga, dun mo may kita yung highs and lows and yung pangangailangan ng money at any given point. So if you're a short-term investor, VIA or BPI VIA will recommend the appropriate products for you. Anyway, let's watch this. Enough yapping. Panoorin natin si BPI VIA magyap.
We go to your investment options. Let's talk about some important facts about investing. All investments have potential levels of risk and return. An investment with a high potential return usually has a high level of risk. Investments with low return usually come with low risk. Generally, investments can be categorized into 3 asset classes: money market, bonds, and equities. Let's discuss each type.
Let's go! Gosh, that makes it so easy. Okay? It makes it so easy for people to understand. Kasi, ano ba yung stocks? Ano ba yung bonds? Parati ko naririnig do. Saan ko ilalagay yung pera ko? Tama ba sa stocks ngayon? Sa bonds ngayon? And then, oftentimes, those questions get asked because definition for stocks and bonds and money markets aren't known. Kulang sa education, and I'm happy that BPIVIA is doing
Money
this for
market
us.
investments pertain to short-term placements that mature in 1 year or less. These have the lowest level of risk and potential return. Hence, these are suitable for conservative and moderately conservative investors with investment horizon of less than 1 year. The next type of investment is called bonds. Bonds pertain to debts issued by a government or a corporation which mature in more than 1 year. When you buy a bond, you are lending your money to the issuer. The borrower or the issuer has an obligation to pay the agreed interest periodically and the principal upon maturity. Bonds are ideal for investors who prefer stable returns and have an investment horizon of more than 1 to 5 years. Lastly, we have equities or stocks. When you buy a share of stock, you become a part owner of the company. Your earnings are dependent on the company's stock performance. Equities provide the highest potential return, but also carry the highest level of risk. Hence, equities are best for aggressive investors who can tolerate short-term price volatility and are willing to invest for the long term. A good investment horizon when investing in equities is at least 5 years. Deciding when to invest and what to buy.
Okay, you wanna know what's crazy? Like a quick insert lang. You know how volatile stocks are? Prior to, and I'll use a real life local example. Prior to ABS-CBN's closure, ABS-CBN was on its way to doing great. And why are they just on their way? Diba? Kailan lang ba sinarado yung ABS? 2016? 2017? Bakit on their way pa lang? So, because with ABS-CBN, for the longest time, bagsak yung stock nila. It just is what it is. Right? Bagsak, and they're recovering, and baliktad. Bagsak yung stock back in the 90s. Recovering, on their way back up. Papantay na sila sa late 90s, papantay na sila kung saan sila bumagsak from, aarangkada na, 2017 comes, boom! Sobrang volatile, di ba? Because no one could have ever foreseen that isa-shut down yung ABS-CBN. But again, just to give you an idea of how volatile it could be, that's how the ABS-CBN stock performance went. To give you another idea, for at one point, darling of the stock market ang Jollibee. And for the longest time, Jollibee was doing great. Until the pandemic hit and prices skyrocketed. So nahirapan yung Jollibee. And I think right now though, Jollibee has recovered and they're doing better than before the pandemic because they're beating their all-time sales. So again, it shows you the volatility. I'll give you one last example. One last example would be Globe. Okay, Globe and PLDT. During the pandemic, when everything shut down, bagsakan lahat ng stocks. But the one thing, of the stocks that people knew would remain strong would be your data, internet, and telecom providers, which is essentially Globe. Kasi gumuho na ang mundo, magka-pandemic man, people will still use the internet. And so Globe being listed in the stock market, this was before Converge got listed on the stock market. Ang lakas ng Globe. Ang lakas ng Globe ng pandemic. Until natapos na yung hype na yun, people reallocated their funds to other products or other stocks. Pure Gold too was the darling of the pandemic. Robinson's Retail was a darling of the pandemic. So you see how things go up, things go down, things go sideways pagdating sa stocks. It's hardly ever consistent, and that's why it's volatile. Okay?
May be difficult for a new investor. Investment funds in the form of unit investment trust funds and mutual funds have made it easy. In an investment fund, the money of various investors are pooled and managed by a team of expert fund managers. They place the money in investments that are aligned with the fund's objective and strategy. For example, a money market fund can only invest in securities that will mature in 1 year or less. You may invest in an investment fund by buying its units or shares based on its price, which changes every day. As an investor, you earn through the difference between your selling price and buying price. In investment funds, you will only realize your gains or losses when you sell your units or shares. I hope I was able to help you understand investments. Please select from the options to proceed.
Okay, I just want to add a little bit more clarity here. Itong investment basics, because I think this is also another
Before we
question
go
that you may have.
to your investment options, let's talk about some important facts about investing.
Let me
All
forward
investments
this.
have
Let me forward this.
investment
Ba't
horizon
wala ning scrubber dito? Wait, let's see. Give me
of
the
less
scrubber.
than 1
Let's just manually fast forward it.
expert fund
Here.
the G that will mature by buying its units or shares.
There you go. So, yung net asset value per unit. So, kunyari may bibilin kayong fund sa BPI Wealth. Sabihin na natin yung halaga niya 50 pesos. Because it is the designated price or the value of that fund for now. So, bumili kayo. Let's say you have 1,000 pesos. Yung isang unit is worth 50. You now have 20 units of that fund. So, 50 pesos siya, di ba? Let's say tumaas siya ng piso. Naging 51 pesos na siya. You have 20 shares. It means kumita na kayo ng 20 pesos. So, that's just the basic math of it. But just to set your expectations, when you open the BPI Wealth, when you go to your BPI, when you open the BPI app, go to BPI Wealth, and you see all these numbers, basically that's just the value of the stock. That's just the value of the fund.
based on its price. In your
Okay. All right, Via, let's hear it. What do you recommend for me?
Given your responses, here are my recommendations. Which of these funds would you like to hear about?
Okay, let's hear one, chat. Which one do you want to see? Okay, let's do two. Isang local, isang international. This is great because even when it comes to the different kinds of funds that BPI Via recommends to you, pwede niya pang i-explain sa inyo bawat, nag-agree si BPI Via, sabi niya, yeah. Pwede niyang i-explain yung bawat fund na nire-recommend niya. So it's not just a simple, okay, ito yung appetite mo, ito yung risk appetite mo, ito
Given
yung
your
funds mo,
responses, here are my
ito yung funds mo, ito yung funds na feeling ko para sa'yo, bahala ka na. You can actually go through each one, and then BPI Via will continue explaining what funds what each of these funds are, and if apart from your risk appetite matching it, if you actually truly want it based on based on BPI Via's description of the fund. So ito, like for example, BPI Philippine Equity Index Fund. So this I feel like these are all local stocks. Kasi equity, sinabi ni Via kanina, stock market, equity market, stock market, and then so Philippines local stocks.
BPI Philippine Equity Index Fund is a UITF suitable for aggressive investors with investment horizon of 5 years or more.
And look, it's a minute,
This
Chad. It's a minute to describe each of these funds. So wherever you get assigned to, whether you get assigned to an aggressive portfolio or a moderately aggressive portfolio or conservative, and bibigyan kanya ng 4 o 5 different funds, you can actually get the explanation of each fund in about a minute. It's not bad at all, man. And then may allocation pa, papakita sa'yo saan ilalagay yung pera mo. Look, ilalagay siya 99.79% stocks.
Fund intends to track the performance of the Philippine Stock Exchange Index by investing in stocks comprising the said index. Because this fund has investments in equities, expect more volatile fund price fluctuation and returns. Shown here is the fund's historical performance. You can invest in the BPI Philippine Equity Index Fund for 1,000 pesos. This UITF does not have any holding period. Kindly select from the options to proceed.
Okay, let's do one more, yung global.
Given your response,
ALFM Global Multi-Asset Income Fund. How about we do something different? Global, tapos bonds naman. Let's check out the BPI Global Bond Income Fund.
The BPI Global Bond Income Fund is a UITF, suitable for moderately aggressive investors, with an investment horizon of 5 years or more. It is a feeder fund that invests in the target fund shown in this slide, which invests in a combination of global fixed income investments. This fund aims to provide regular monthly income and long-term capital appreciation to its investors. You can start investing in the BPI Global Bond Income Fund for 1,000 pesos or $100. It has a holding period of 180 days. Kindly select from the options to proceed.
Okay, return to recommendations.
given
So yes,
your response,
kung di ako nagkakamali, 1,000 is the minimum. And then, ang mangyayari dyan, pwede kang magdagdag in increments of 100. I can be wrong, okay? Pero 1,000 to open up a fund, 100 para magdagdag at magdagdag. So 1,000 sounds like it is very doable. Definitely put that 1,000 in, and then every time nakakaipon ng onte, yung tigwa 100 na yan, ilagay ng paunti-unti. And if I were you, chat, and this is not financial advice, if I were me, and I am me, and this is what I would do, I'd pick 1 or 2. Okay? Much as I want to put in everything because wow, ang galing ng pagkaka-explain ni BPI Via. Ang ganda nung BPI Philippine Equity Fund. Ang ganda ng BPI Global Bond Income Fund. Ang ganda ng BPI... Just pick 2. Okay? These are, as it is, diversified products already. It's not like when you buy the BPI Global Bond Income Fund, or sorry, it's not like if you buy the BPI Philippine Equity Index Fund, you're like buying BPI stocks lang or Globe stocks lang, pure gold. No, it's already diversified as it is, and you don't want to over diversify. So pick 2. Normally pick 2 that are opposite of each other. If isa Philippines or local, yung isa global. If yung isa stocks, yung isa bonds naman. That's a very good way of diversifying yet keeping things simple. That's how I would do it. Okay? Pwede bang mag-invest kahit walang account sa BPI? I think you'll need one. Yes, so pagdating sa investments, okay lang maging 2-timer. 3-timer pa nga kung gusto mo. But I would not recommend that. That might be too much on your hands. Alright, what happens if I click on I am ready to invest?
Before I end our session, I would like
Ito.
to
Okay, here, LG. Oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. You don't even have to have an account to do BPI via. Learn more how to open an investment account online. LJ, this question, sinagot ni BPI via for you.
To finally start investing, I would like to introduce e-invest. You can already start investing in just a few clicks. Here's a walkthrough.
Okay. Okay. I think you're still going to need a BPI account. I can be wrong.
Kindly select from the options.
Open an investment account online. What happens if I do that? Open an investment account online. Okay. Now, let's do this for the fun of it. Pwede bang mag-invest ng walang BPI savings account? Let's see. Invest. Do you have a BPI deposit account and access to BPI online? What if I tap no? No deposit account yet? Open a BPI deposit account. There you go. You have to. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yep. So the answer here, LJ, is kailangan mo ng deposit account. You need one. Yeah, because if you tap no, it's going to ask you to apply for one. And honestly, I think it's well worth it. If you go through the BPI app, ang dami mong pwedeng gawin within that app ecosystem. I mean, this is already going way off topic, but you could pay your bills there. You could set recurring payments. You could lock your cards. You could set passcodes, set limits. So, ibang usapan na yun. But basically, if the barrier to entry to BPI, to accessing all the financial instruments of BPI Wealth is opening a BPI account, then yes, it is all worth it. It's you need to open a deposit account. And then from there, once you're able to log into your app or on the website, it's going to be very easy to do everything else from there. Okay, I am okay with today's discussion.
Thank you so much for your time today. For a more detailed discussion, kindly email our wealth advisors at the email address shown on your screen. Please note that personal information may be requested as part of assisting you through email. Rest assured that any data you provide will be handled in accordance with our data privacy statement posted on our official website. I hope I was able to help you find the most suitable investment option to achieve your financial goal. Once again, I'm Via, your virtual investment advisor. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you and have a nice day. Okay, all I'm saying, chat. May TikTok ba si Via? I don't know. We can look. You should give this a try, chat. Visit bpiwealth.com to find out. You should give this a try, chat. Visit bpiwealth.com to find out what kind of investor you are and let Via give recommendations that should make investing that much easier for you. Yeah. Can I read that one more time? I feel like I didn't read that properly. Although we did say so many things already that I feel like are helpful. Okay, let me read that one more time. You should give this a try, chat. Visit bpiwealth.com and let BPI Via give you recommendations based and let BPI Via give recommendations that should make investing that much easier for you. Yes, VI is an acronym for... Why don't I remember it? BPI VIA. What the heck? Why don't I remember it? Virtual Investment Advisor. VIA. Virtual Investment Advisor. Yeah, give it a try, Christian. Again, how I would do it. 2 funds at most. And yung opposite. Don't do 2 funds tas parehas stocks. Ideally, they are opposite in some way. Kung parehas stocks, siguro yung isa local, yung isa international. Kung yung isa stocks, yung isa bonds. Basta okay talaga if opposites siya. And try to keep it at 2, especially if you're just beginning. Allocate your funds into allocate your money into these 2 funds. Yeah, other than that, chat, do you have questions? May mga tanong ba kayo? Because I really again, this is the first time that I went through BPI Via, and my reactions are, of course, partly because I want to encourage you to check it out, but also because I'm genuinely impressed by how beginner friendly it is. It's something that a lot can really use. Lalo na sa mga naghahanap ng paraan paano i-invest yung pera. Yep. Okay, we can do Reddit threads again because we're done essentially with BPI Via. Let me just put this back here on the screen. BPI Via, let's go. Yeah. Let's see if there's something new in the Reddits today. How much would be a good start for investment? How much you can afford to invest? I don't think there's an amount that is right for anybody. Of course, for as long as you meet the minimum, which is 1,000 to open up a fund. But generally speaking, kung ano yung money that you could set aside and afford to set aside for whatever time horizon, whether it's 1 year, 1 to 5, or 5 or more, yun yung tamang amount. So, you may have, let's say, 10,000 pesos in savings. Pero kung yung 10,000 na yun, kailangan mong galawin within the next few months, then maybe it's not the right time to invest yet. Pero kunyari may 10,000 ka and para sa'yo, perma savings na yun. Kaya mo siyang hindi galawin in 1 year. And the automatic money market funds na yun. Kaya mong hindi galawin in 1 to 5 years. O di pwede mo na siya ilagay sa bonds. Right? And then equity markets ang greater than 5 years. These are all according to BPI Via. Ano yung update bills? Saan lumabas? Let's check it out. Where is it? So that's like, again, there's no amount of money that's good to start for investment. But another thing that I would like to say is that the best time to invest is today. Or, let's add a little cheesiness to it. The best time to invest is always yesterday. Diba? So, pagdating ng bukas, it's yesterday. Dapat, as soon, you have to make yourself ready to invest. You have to find that place. It's not just going to happen one day. You have to purposely get yourself in a place where you're ready to invest your money. Again, I have my money with BPI Wealth. So I literally have I put my money where my mouth is. Highly recommend BPI Wealth. I'll also tell you what specific product I'm in. Don't copy me, okay? This is because ito yung taste na ito yung sinabi sa akin ng BPI Via na not BPI Via. Ito yung ni-recommend sa akin, wala pa yatang BPI via back then eh. Pero ito yung ni-recommend sa akin based on my risk appetite. I have my money in the ABF Philippines Bond Index Fund. That's where my money is. Great way to. By the way, it's also, this is a little bit more intermediate, but tayong mga regular people, hindi magiging madali sa atin mag-access ng bonds. Stocks kaya pa, right? We have a lot of platforms that offer or allow us to buy individual stocks. I can buy Pure Gold, I can buy Globe, PLDT, I can buy Meralco individually, right? I can even buy it in bunches, like your mutual funds. But bonds, yung isa pang instrument na dinescribe ni BPI via kanina, bonds are not something that's easily accessible to people. Usually, ang may access lang yan, mga banks, right? Mga banks, mga brokers. Pero tayo, wala tayong access dyan. BPI Wealth and other similar platforms allow us to participate in the bond market. What is this? Philippines. We are better than this. Can we stop and get some? So sa Danang, Mom, we have this at home. Then at home, ito yung meron natin. It's weird. We are so obsessed with making tourist spots inspired from other countries that we forget our identity. Oo nga, no? Puro gaya. Bali of the Philippines. New Zealand of the Philippines. Bakit di na lang mag-promote ng sariling atin? Kahit street food natin na wala na identity. Puro takoyaki, Korean corn dog, etc. Kung ano pang gaya sa ibang bansa. Ooh, hot take. May update na kay James Deakin. That's something I really want to stay tuned with. Wala pa naman, 7 hours. Davao Oriental, 6.7 magnitude earthquake. I think it's just more of extreme take. I don't think it's meant to be taken literally. No! I swear if we see comments saying 6-7. Oh no. Oh no. The meme reset. The meme reset. How the Philippines went from Asia's second richest country to its biggest economic failure in just one generation. Wow. In the 1950s, the Philippines had the second highest income per capita. We were ahead of South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, and Vietnam. Our GDP per capita was $1,070, a position of real privilege. Shit. Chad, are you ready to get yourselves heartbroken? Ito na lang ba ang ginagawa natin to make yourselves feel better about the economic situation of the Philippines? Babalikan natin yung past. To kind of make yourselves feel better but also at the same time para masaktan pa yung sarili natin. Because this is not just a fairy tale. This actually just happened. Way back when, we were really doing good. We had what others did not. Modern universities, Established manufacturing base, 70% of our workforce spoke English. Yes, Manila was destroyed. 80% of the city was rubble by 1945, second only to Warsaw. That's true, by the way. Manila is the second most devastated city during World War II. Medyo wild, diba? Just think about that for a second, Chad. Sa laki-laki ng mundo and sa countries involved in World War II, second most devastated ang Metro Manila. But we received $400 million in US war damage compensation and $550 million in Japanese reparations, and we got it first before our neighbors. While Korea fought the war in 1950 to 53 and Taiwan rebuilt from a civil war, we had early capital and relative stability. By 1960, manufacturing was our fastest growing sector. Textile mills, cement plants, food processing, car assembly, and garment production. The Philippines was assembling its own vehicles while neighbors were still rebuilding. The cope! The cope! Para lang maramdaman natin how great of a country we once were. And para paasahin din tayo that one day, babalik din tayo sa dati nating greatness. Is it gonna happen? We don't know. Hopefully in our lifetimes. The Philippines had Asia's most ano ba to? Hinebra ba to? Ito yung tinatawag nila na bilog, di ba? Gin bilog. Ito naman yung Cuatro Canto ba yun? Cuatro Cantos. The Philippines had Asia's most modern production structure at the time. We weren't just growing, we were structurally ahead. Factories used steam power and mechanized production. The competitive edge lasted only a decade. No. Sugar accounted for 25 to 30% of US global imports in the early 1970s. We also exported coconut, abaca, and timber under privileged US market access. These exports funded government and capital accumulation. Oh, naalala ko, chat. Alam niyo yung nung bata pa tayo, kasi binabasa natin yung Civica, Araling Panlipunan, Hekasi books natin, na kung ano yung in-export ng Pilipinas and kung ano yung kalakasan ng bawat rehiyon. Di ba? Na kung ano yung ginagawa nila doon at kung ano yung in-export. These days, I wonder what those books look like. Am I so whitewashed by Manila culture that I've forgotten or don't believe that we still export something? Or am I right to believe na ang in-export na lang natin ngayon tao? Human capital is our biggest export. Whether that's through our OFWs that go abroad and stay abroad and remit money, or call centers here in the Philippines, all the way down to our freelance VA, our freelancers na mga virtual assistant. It seems to me that our most precious export is human capital. And what hurts with that being our most precious export is that it's also one of the most vulnerable sectors when it comes to AI. The scary thing about AI is that it's not like before, right? Na okay, the car took over the horse. Automobiles took over horse-drawn carriages, which also devastated that entire industry, which down to your person picking up the poop on the roads, natanggalan ng trabaho. Or electricity, taking away the need for candles and all of these instruments using candles, an entire industry. Or if you go deep back, if you go even further back, printing presses, eliminating the need for writers, right? With AI, the takeover is much more insane because as it takes over industries, it only learns more. Like, it's a self-sustaining beast. Kaya nakakatakot yung kalagayan natin when it comes to AI dominating our workforce or our number one export, which is human capital. I mean, earlier today I called Lazada. Earlier today I called an e-commerce platform, and I was talking to a robot. I'm not typing down numbers. Press 1 if English or Tagalog. Press 1 if you agree. Press no. I was literally talking to a robot. Can you describe, it sounded robotic. Can you describe your order number? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hear you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that related to the product ganito? I'm talking to a robot. And that's a sucky robot. Give it one more year. Right? Give it one more year, and for all I know, I'll be talking to a robot the entire time already. From the time that the e-commerce platform picks up the phone. Diba? So, I don't know. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared sa kalagayan ng Pilipinas. Unlike other countries who invested in manufacturing, masyado tayong nag-invest sa human capital and casinos. Okay, next. Real industrial potential existed on the table. Steel mills, shipbuilding, petrochemicals, machinery manufacturing, skilled labor was available. Capital was cheap. We had the foundation to compete globally. But protection became addiction. Instead of using tariffs to build competitive capacity, like Korea and Taiwan did for 1 to 2 decades, we stayed sheltered for 30 years. Industries became fat, inefficient, focused only on the local 40 million person market. Too small to achieve economies of scale. What does that mean? Instead of using tariffs to build competitive capacity, oh. Right. I get it. So yung pumapasok na goods dito, instead na lagyan natin ng tariff or lagyan natin ng tax para maging mas mahal, we allowed international brands to conquer the Philippines and nasira ang local markets natin dahil na-penetrate tayo ng international markets. Electronic products. How does that compare to our human capital exports? By that, I mean, magkano yung kinikita ng freelancing natin, yung estimates ng freelance services natin, pati OFW remittances. Because, of course, by definition, when we talk about exports, we're almost always going to be talking about tangible products, right? Like electronic products, agricultural products. But how does that compare to OFWs and their remittances? Because if OFW remittances are higher than electronic products, then it's very clear na human capital pa rin talagang export natin. Diba? Siyempre sasabihin ng Google or ng LLM electronics. Pero I think our OFW remittances 2020 what's this, 2024, 38.34 billion. And that's just remittances. We're not talking about our VAs or the freelance industry, which also makes up a bulk of the money coming in the Philippines. So I would personally say that human capital pa rin ang number one export natin. Diba? 38.34. So, fair naman sabihin na electronic products are still the number one at 41.91. Okay, let's finish this one. Meanwhile, land stayed concentrated in a few families. Haciendas controlled by political elites. Rural productivity lagged while our neighbors invested in smallholder productivity. Inequality deepened. Agricultural output per capita stagnated while Asia's tigers transformed their rural sectors. Oo nga. Ito yung naging Manila-centric tayo, no? While neighbors pivoted to exports in the 1960s and 70s, we stayed sheltered and lost momentum. AKA, we still tried to keep selling to ourselves. Except that, by sheltered, I feel like Peso Weekly here is trying to say na imbis na nag-export tayo and focus on our export selling to other countries para may perang pumasok sa Pilipinas, ang end up nangyayari, we focused on just selling to ourselves and each other with the added problem na marami ring pumapasok na imported products na hindi natin tinatarif. While neighbors pivoted to exports in the 60s and 70s, we stayed sheltered and lost momentum. 1968, South Korea's GDP per capita had caught up to the Philippines. Taiwan followed by the 70s, Thailand by the mid-70s. Our 1950s advantage gone in one generation. Then came 21 years of dictatorship, crony capitalism, government loans to family friends at below market rates, monopoly licenses, inefficient industries protected by government decree, not merit. Decree. Growth was fueled by borrowing, not productivity. The math was always going to break. Yung debt natin grew from 600 million to 26 billion in 20 years. Well, we borrowed, productivity in manufacturing fell negative 5%. So that's crazy, right? Because normally when you borrow money, and sinabi dito sa Peso Weekly, our growth was fueled by borrowing. That makes sense, right? Because if you infuse hundreds of billions of dollars into the Philippines, into the country, that's money coming in. Of course, it's borrowed, meaning to say we have to pay that back. Pero ideally, yung hundreds of billions of pesos na pumapasok sa Pilipinas get put into good use, which did not happen. That did not happen with us because productivity fell 5%. While interest rates spiked in 1982, the debt collapsed. Others kept climbing, we fell behind. The Philippines did not lack talent or potential. We lacked industrial discipline. We lacked competitive pressure. We lacked political will to reform. We stayed comfortable too long, and history, brutal as it is, never waits for anyone to catch up. South Korea, today, 35,962 GDP per capita. Philippines, 4,350. Our generation's policy choices created an 8x income gap. What will ours do? Oh, nice. May ganito rin. May sources. Lala. That's a great question to ask, right? Where's the line between it being our fault for voting for these people and for these people creating systems where we just end up not knowing who to vote properly? Diba? Kasi chicken or egg, right? Chicken or egg. Is it because of these people who have bad intentions that don't want to improve yung kalagayan ng Pilipinas that makes us make poor choices? Or is it really because of us? Diba? May link, diba? I mean, that's why education isn't given a lot of importance. Because if we get smarter, we're gonna vote the correct people in. Hirap. Ang hirap nitong kalagayan natin. Good article though. Kind of makes me sad. Ano eh, I get you. I get you. Common sense and that obvious naman. But I think, and I'd like to borrow this again from Mock, na our experiences have shaped our decisions. And lucky for you if you know who to vote for properly and that you have common sense. But oftentimes, I feel like those we blame for not having common sense simply do not have the tools and experiences for them to develop it. So yeah, common sense is not that common after all, but it's not because of anybody's fault, but because of systems that failed them. So I mean, that it's a debate. Honestly, it's a debate. I just fall on that side. Hindi ako naniniwala that we keep on voting for the wrong people because we're dumb. Generally speaking, I think we keep voting for the wrong people because we're simply not informed enough. And whatever reason for not being informed enough, whether it's because kulang tayo sa opportunities for education, lumaki tayo in a certain way, could be whatever. Pero hindi ako naniniwala that I feel like ine-exploit yung decision-making process ng mga Pilipino. Whether that's through vote buying, whether that's explicit and deliberate na vote buying, or a little bit more insidious na long-term. Let's keep people poor. Let's not educate them. And so that they keep making bad decisions. And then pagmukain natin, nakasalanan nila. Right? Pagmukain natin na, yan kasi, kaya tayo hindi umaasenso. Pare-parehas ang binoboto natin. But the difference between voting for the right person and the wrong person could be 2,000 pesos. 1,000 pesos. Right then and there. Bigyan kita 1,000 ngayon. If your kid is starving, right? Sorry, I don't want to speak for anybody. If my kid is starving, wala na siyang makain, at pwedeng bukas mamamatay na siya dahil kulang na siya sa gatas, at nagsusuka na siya or nanghihina na siya. If you give me 1,000 pesos now just to vote for you, I'll do it. I'll do it because yun yung context ng buhay ko. But to everybody else, alam mo ba yung 1,000 pesos na yan? If you divide that in 6 years, ito lang yung halaga mo. Easy for us to say. Easy for us to say that because we know better. But the reality is that it is the perpetual burden of the privileged to understand at a level that we might not even ever understand. But we have to keep trying. Okay? Meron pa isa, di ba? May isa pang kasabihan. The burden of poverty is on the privileged. Kumbaga, nasa sa may kaya yung burden. I butchered that quote hella. Pero yun eh, ganun yung buhay nila eh. Never natin maintindihan yun. And we're not expected to. It's not our fault if we don't understand it. Pero ganun yung buhay nila, and we just have to keep finding ways to understand and keep finding ways to contribute positively to the system. I don't know, Romeo. I mean, honestly, again, it's a debate. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that it's a debate. There are gonna be different sides to it. I just feel strongly on this side, and I respect what you're saying because I understand what you're saying also. 'Di ba? Na parang ang tanga ko naman masyado kung siya yung binoto ko, ito yung humirap lang yung kalagayan ko, pero siya pa rin yung iboboto ko next year. Tanga na lang ako kung gagawin ko pa yun ulit. But there are just so many more factors that go into it. Other than just that, right? Again, I gave a very real example earlier. 1,000 pesos today can make or break me within the next couple of days. What the hell do I care about the next 6 years? The next 6 years comes, the next 1,000 pesos can still make or break me in the next 2 days. What's another 6 years? I might not even be alive in year 2. So, yun yung great debate, diba? Whose fault really is it? And sino ang magliligtas sa ating lahat? I know there's this ongoing trend now that goes, nobody will save us but ourselves. Growing up is understanding that only you can save you. But honestly, that's pretty much a first world problem. In countries as poor as ours, a lot of those rules don't apply to us. It's very, very different. Yeah. You're gifted with a lot of intelligence, I would say, Romeo. That's why despite the situations you've been through, you know better. Others are not as articulate, as eloquent, and as knowledgeable as you. So they don't know how to weigh things out as efficiently as you. Hirap, 'di ba? Hirap. 'Di ba? I totally understand you, Romeo. Totally understand you. And here am I saying all of these things, yet air-conditioned yung stream room natin. 3 yung monitor na tinitingnan ko. 'Di ba? And my biggest problem for the day is, may magme-member ba sa live stream? So, I'm speaking from a very privileged perspective. Yeah, that's one solid approach. It's on us to educate and empathize. That's why hindi gumana yung last thing na ginawa natin, 'di ba? Yung Lenny, yung hindi ako nagpapa-guilt trip mock. Kaya hindi gumana yung ginawa ng yung Lenny versus BBM last time. Lenny Kiko, BBM Sara, hindi gumana. Right? Because it was such a poor execution of education. Instead of us educating and empathizing, us by us I mean Lenny Kiko side. Instead of educating and empathizing, what ended up happening was, I know better and I'm better than you for knowing better. Yun yung naging vibes. Whereas, yung Sara BBM, sobrang galing. Unity, magkaisa tayo. Wala tayong plataforma, pero unity. Hindi ba wag na lang tayo mag-away-away? Magkaisa na lang tayo. Unity. Ang dali intindihin, 'di ba? So medyo I think that's a lesson to be learned in the next elections. Whatever side you're on, you're not gonna convince the other side to come over to yours. That's pretty much set. The best you could do is understand and deliver your side in an empathetic way. And hopefully, small chance, they switch on over to your side. Pero wala, malabo. Malabo. Sobrang galing nung makinarya nung BBM Sara. I'm not gonna lie. Lenny Kiko was good. I thought they were gonna win, especially with all the celebrities and influencers controlling the internet for them. Pero mas malakas lang talaga yung messaging ng Unity. Diba? Toxicity. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Instead nga of educating and empathizing with the other side, yung mga Lenny Kiko voters were more on the side of, yun na nga, I know better, and because I know better than you, I'm better. Yeah, naging toxic talaga. I mean, toxic na nga rin yung BBM Sara side, di ba? Parehas naging toxic. So talagang no one will budge. Kapag parehas toxic, walang magbabudge dyan. End up, problema natin, mas marami, sheer amount of voters, mas marami lang talaga yung BBM Sara. And I agree, 2028 is gonna be harder. Oh, neat! They have stronger packaging. Ganda ng branding nila. Calorie count sa McDo. Sorry, sa Jollibee. Damn! One piece with iced tea, 670 calories. Yum Burger, 539 calories. These are insane amounts, yo. If you eat the entire spaghetti, it is 1,170. Not bad. Not bad. 1,170. JFC stock? What does JFC stock look like right now? JFC, Jollibee Food Corp. Doinks. Wait. Let's do Yep. Look at that, chat. Pero ang laki nito, ah. That's significant. I wonder what happened. What news did Jollibee have recently that gave them this huge lift? Did Jollibee acquire something? This is pretty significant. What's this? 14%. That's very big. 14%. One day. That's big. What did did they gap up? I think they gapped up. What did Jollibee do? Jollibee news. Jollibee plans US listing for global business. There you go. That's the reason why nag-surge yung stock. Jollibee said it plans to spin off its international business and list it on a US stock exchange by late 2027. Its stock jumped the most in more than 5 years after the announcement. Yun yung reason. Jollibee, which increasingly is taking aim at global fast food giants such as McDonald's and Yum brands from Los Angeles to Ho Chi Minh City, said it has hired international and local advisors to work on the spin-off and potential US listing. Jollibee shares, after a 1-hour trading halt, rose as much as 11.56%, the most since October. Nagmahal. Let's go, Jollibee. But yeah, of course, if you zoom out and if you look at the bigger picture, look at this, chat. Jollibee is only as good as it was all the way back in 2017. Crazy, huh? Nothing is doing good in the Philippines right now. PSEI index, look at that. Bulok. We're really not doing good. This is the Philippines right now, struggling. Struggling. See? Struggling. I don't think they banned no. They banned interactive brokers? No. 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 Meron. Meron. Philippines. There you go. IBKR. Or ibang IBKR ba yun? What? Wait. Yo, what? No warning. Filipino investors rage. Oh my God. Filipino investors rage after telcos block access to global trading platform Interactive Brokers. What? What? Oo nga, kaya ito yung lumalabas. What the hell? No war... Chat, I have funds in there. Am I cooked? Am I cooked? Yo, I have funds in here. Whoa. So ang workaround nito VPN, right? Yeah, VPN. Likely VPN. That's nuts. I think we can end the stream right now, chat. NordVPN. It's a very common YouTuber collaboration. Okay. I think there are interesting threads here. Di lang natin nakita. This bird has been terrorizing me since the beginning of the year. Ang palaging gumigising sa akin ay usually mga maya or crows. Ngayon napalitan naman tong ibon na to. I googled it and they're called Philippine Pied Fantail. What do I mean when I said terrorizing me? First, they start tweeting their scratchy music at 7 a.m. and goes on for literal hours. Keeps knocking on my window and shits constantly on my bed if I ever open the window. I think they're a pair, and I also think they've got a nest somewhere in the roof of our house because they're aggressive to our cats. But of course, I'm not really mad. Annoyed, maybe, but I like seeing endemic birds. We live in an urban area, so it's really hard for me to see other bird species aside from the Eurasian tree sparrow. Lately, dumadami na rin yung pair ng crows na bumibisita sa akin. And now, ito naman. Cute. My funds? What's my funds? About 100 pesos. What do you mean by my funds? DNS. Has Eyelander slippers quality declined recently? Man. Let's check out another one. Let's check out. Let's check out casual. Where's casual PH? Pati ko mahanap. Found it. Oh, just different stocks. I don't wanna let you know para hindi siya end up maging financial advice. Salamat, Kapitan. Sarap mo yakapin sa leg hanggang mag-violet. Baliktad yung ilaw. Bakit naman, Kapitan? Glow up. Imbis na pag ganun. Ayan, ginanon. Ano gagawin mo pag nag-send ako ng 5,000? Planning to give 3 people 5K each. Yo! Do we comment 5 hours ago? Do we comment, chat? Sana mapili. No reason. Sana mapili lang. We'll send it back to you. Baka may kapalit pa yan. Pinadagdag. Chat, ano sasabihin natin dito? Anong gagawin mo pag nag-send ako ng 5K? For my monthly rent po, pambayad sa school. I mean, you wanna win, right? But at the same time, babasahin mo lahat ng mga comments na to, di ba? Upskilling, pay tuition, treat sa brother ko, therapy sessions. Gosh. Parang magigilty na lang eh. Yo, I'm the next person. That's a good one, Mok. Paano nga ba? Paano kayo kumain sa labas? Magkatabi o magkaharap? Chat, how do you do it? How would you do it? Sa mga may jowa, sa mga aspiring magka-jowa, magkatabi o magkaharap? Ali Wars and I, we're more of the beside each other type of couple. How about everybody else? How do you do it, Mok? Mag-isa. Upvote, kawawa ka naman. Magkayakap. Nakakandong, magkaharap. Di ako comfy na hindi ko nakikita yung kausap ko. Patago. Magkaharap. Okay. More often than not, magkaharap. Kami naman baliktad. Depende sa availability, pero madalas talaga magkatabi. Corpo slang. What's this? Damn it, you can't play it. Corpo slang.
Guys, I think we can park this for now. I think we can park this idea for now. No questions naman sa end ko. I just want to remind you guys to keep me in the loop. To keep me in the loop. I suggest we circle back to this idea na lang in our next meeting since marami pa tayong agenda for today, no? Guys, na-cover ko naman na rin kanina yung mga updates ko. So, hop off na rin ako, guys, ha?
Go ahead.
Hop off na rin ako kasi may meeting din ako next in 5 minutes. So,
Understood.
if okay lang, hop off na ako, guys, ha?
Sige, gets na namin. Alis ka na.
Guys, I think we can park this for now. Can I see your deck? Yes, I wanna see your deck. I can't see your deck. Can you give me access to the deck? Yes, the deck. Oh wait, let me see the brief first. The brief. Oh.
It is good.
Interesting brief. Now let me see the deck. Oh, nice deck. I love this deck. This is a long deck. 72 slides. But I love it. I love long decks. Guys, I think we can park this for now.
I love it. Aligned. You know what I'm never gonna understand though? What the hell is a stakeholder? Chat, stakeholder. People just use it randomly and I never found the definition for it. Like, stakeholders, this might not be good for my stakeholders, so I'm just going to be refraining from talking about anything that might compromise it. So it's okay, you guys can still talk about it, but to avoid any conflict with my stakeholders, I won't talk about it anymore. 1 minute you're talking like that, and the next thing you know, stakeholders could mean something totally different. What the hell is a stakeholder? BAU is another one. Business as usual. It's so random. The way stakeholders is being used. Yeah, I mean, I know stakeholder as in like kapag investor ka, diba, sa business, you're a stakeholder. But stakeholder, the way it's being used now, doesn't seem to be used in that way. Pipeline, piggybacking off of what Blank said. There are so many cool and funny ones. I'm trying to think of more. Nah, I can't think of anything else. Maybe we can read the comments to get some inspiration. People here don't know what a slang is. Bigyan ko kayo ng sample. Onda or Honda. On the dot. Sakto sa oras kung may logout o uwi. Mirna, meron na sahod. Corpo talk is not corpo slang. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. Corpo talk is not the same as corpo slang. Yung mga that's true. My brands are my stakeholders. Yung akala mo may ka-date ka na pero networking pala. Ay. Ang tanong, sino dito yung akalang may ka-date na at sino dito yung nagne-network? Because by the looks of it, I actually don't know. Because the pen is here, the book is here. But what's this? Doodles? So happy and grateful. Yung 10K mo. Yeah, I love that, LJ. Yung 10K mo, gawin nating 10K ko. Power, saklap. BYD taxi. Yes, sir. I love it. Competitors. Is this going to be the downfall of Grab? We don't know. It might just be. Have you seen this? Chat, have you seen this? Pinakita sa akin to ni Ali Orts kagabi. Speaking of Bretman Rock. I'm not sure if you saw this clip, but Bretman Rock essentially dropped Vanessa Hudgens. No, I haven't. 7 telcos? I'm not too confident about more telcos. Honestly, it's gonna be difficult at this point. Globe, Smart, TM, Gomo, and all these littler brands. they're set in stone. You saw it? Yeah, yung Sugar Bear CEO. Let's watch the clip. I have a take here. I don't think my take is very popular.
Fight the Earth.
Bretman Rock, Vanessa. Bretman Rock, Vanessa Hudgens. Wala eh. Sugar Bear CEO. Oh, I can't find the clip anymore. It's just all Bretman Rock topless photos. Bretman Rock, most disappointing celebrity. Chat, link me up please. Hindi ko mahanap. Hi Hisui. Why are you laughing? Oh, it's on YouTube? Okay, Lala. Sabi ni Lala nasa YouTube daw. Go to Baddest Radio. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I love that.
That is crazy.
Most disappointing celebrity encounter? You don't have to name them.
VH. Exactly.
Most disappointing
VH.
celebrity
Bitch,
encounter?
who else has a fucking...
You don't have to name them.
VH.
Okay.
Bitch, who else has a fucking name? Vanessa Hudgens, bitch.
Oh.
I don't like her. Like, literally.
Wait, you guys met?
What is the...
I met her at Coachella, and we have to go to the Sugar Bear house to pick up our tickets to go to Coachella. And she was there, and she was talking to the CEO of Sugar Bear Hair. And I was friends with the Sugar Bear Hair CEO because I remembered her talking to him, but obviously I was trying to get his attention, so I'm like waving. I'm like, I forgot his name, honestly. I was like, maybe let's just say it was Chris. Like, Chris, like waving at him.
Yeah.
And not at her. And she like literally looks at me and it like tries to hide. I'm like, first of all, I'm not saying hi to you. I was always Team Sharpay. Second of all, bitch, you're not even Mexican. You're motherfucking not. And third of all, bitch, I'm not a fan. Like I'm, and then she had a second person there. I think it was her assistant because I don't know who she was. And she grabs her hand and makes her stand in front of her, like to kind of like block
her.
What?
Yes, because at that point, like I was walking towards them to say hi to the CEO of Sugar Bear Hair, and that's why we're here. You know what I mean? And you know how she's been like the Coachella queen, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I still don't give a fuck. I still don't give a fuck. I was not fucking saying hi to you, Vanessa.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to be hiding or having to have your assistant hide
that's
you.
rude. Yeah.
Because the only ones here are the ones invited.
That were invited.
Like, girl, we have the same rate. We're getting it's not like you're getting an artist pass and I'm getting a general. We're getting the same pass.
Right.
And I know time and place. You're not above me. I'm not under you. And that's just that on that.
Damn.
And I'm literally like, damn, you can't even like. I'm Filipino, bitch. You can't even like your own people.
Seriously, that's.
My take here is very basic. I think Bretman also just got hurt. Na ganun yung reaction ni Vanessa. It's not a slight on Bretman. I love Bretman Rock. Like I said last night, si Bretman Rock yung creator that brands just keep on loving no matter how transparent or how honest Bretman can get. Pero yeah, I think it's just medyo na-hurt lang si Bretman nung time na yon. But again, no reason, tama rin si Bretman, no reason for Vanessa Hudgens to be hiding like that because everyone that was there was invited, they have the same rate, have same passes. Yeah. I guess in the way that the story is being narrated, I would assume. I won't say he is. I would assume. Ito yung pangalan ng podcast ni Bretman Rock. It's, by the way, to make it clear, it's not hurt because of it's not hurt entirely because of ego. It's hurt because what Vanessa did was offensive. You know what I mean? So if somebody actually does something offensive, you have the right to feel bothered by that. Disgust is another way to put it. Yeah. Ooh, okay. I might want to retract what I said. Maybe that's the word that I'm looking for. Disgust. Repulsed. Na parang, why are you acting like that? Yeah. Okay. That okay. Disgust. If it's disgust. I mean, Bretman is super sassy. Rightfully so. Sobrang successful. Sobrang galing niyang creator. Withstood the test of time. And all that said, Bretman is only 27. So, yeah, disgusted by that kind of behavior would make sense. And I also like the last line. I don't think I was able to play it here, but I remember from last night. Parehas tayong Pinoy. Bakit ka ganyan sa akin? I know Bretman did a 415 deadlift. That's how... I'm not the biggest Bretman fan, but I know Bretman got big into fitness. What's up, Pablo? Pablo, kung totoo yan, magme-member ka dito sa YouTube. If hindi totoo yan, if hindi ka mag-member dito sa YouTube, feeling ko binubola mo lang ako. Yeah, he lifted 4 plates aside for deadlifts. And I think Bretman did it in like... pants not even for lifting weights. Alam mo yun? Pero topless. I wonder if we can even find that. Bretman Rock 415 deadlift. Let's go. See what I was telling you? It's not even pants for lifting weights. It's just Bretman. Kung ano lang siya, kung sino lang siya, kung ano lang trip niyang gawin, gagawin niya. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! 415, baby! Woo! Let's get it! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! And to be fair, Bretman was... Ito objectively, I know what I'm saying. Bretman is wearing the wrong shoes for deadlifting because these shoes will actually make it harder for Bretman to deadlift. If Bretman wore flatter shoes, because these shoes are for squatting. These shoes are heeled and they're for squatting. If Bretman wore flat shoes, I would dare say na mas mabigat pa yung mabubuhat niya. So, handicap yung sapatos na suot niya dito. Oh, totoo ba, Pablo Juan? Do it now! Diba? So yeah. Pretty much Bretman has remained consistent and true, and yung character niya talaga has just continued to resonate with everybody. Tagal niya nang ginagawa to. Magka 10 years na yata siyang on top, right? And if I'm not mistaken, when Bretman went here in 2016, maybe not the first time, 2016 or 2016, 2017, when Bretman Rock went to the Philippines to test the waters, ang takeaway is that he's too big for Philippine show business. Kumaga, in whatever way that means, masyadong yung personality niya is for a more global audience. Masyado nang malaki yung kinikita niya for him to start all over in Philippine showbiz. Walang may afford ng rates niya. But that was the takeaway nung bumisita siya as early as 2016, 2017. And that was when Bretman was doing millions on YouTube. I think Bretman still does millions today. Galing, Bretman Rock. About a million still. 1.5. But where was peak Bretman? 20 million! There you go. From 8 years ago. 15 million. 14 million. Jeez. Galing. Anywho. I think we're done for tonight, chat. I'll see you again tomorrow. HLA Hall. So, just a quick preview. I have a couple of HLA bags. I guess you can call me a fashion guy now. Or not. Maybe pinagbibigyan lang tayo ng HLA. Let me go grab the bags, show it as a preview, and then wrap the stream up. All right, chat. Here we are. 3 heavy bags of HLA. I know somebody named Alex will be very happy because finally I will have more clothes to wear as well. So here we are. HLA. Holo ulit tayo bukas. For now, chat, this is where the stream ends. Let us wrap it up. I'll make it much easier for you tomorrow, chat. Surprise na lang, but I won't be it won't be as tedious as last time. Also, I'm gonna be inflating these balloons. No more isa pa to si Mock. No more plain shirts. That's what you think. I got all plain shirts from HLA. All right, chat. Thank you so much for tonight. Huge shout out to Mommy Keiko for the 5 gifted. Wala na bang hahabol? We have 153, chat. Let's not get this any lower than 150. Come on, let's bump these numbers up. Model na ba? Model mod na. I won't reveal how I'm gonna do it, but I want to make it less tedious para hindi na kasing hassle ng last time na nag-aabang kayo and then I'm gonna show myself. I'm not even gonna be able to show myself completely. Hey, you know what? What if live stream tomorrow is on the phone? Or not? Let's see. But last day of streaming is tomorrow. Walang stream on Friday because I'm going to be headed out of town with a couple of friends whom I haven't seen in quite some time. So, no stream on Friday. Last stream of the week will be tomorrow. I'll see you next on Monday. Munti ko na sabihin yun, MJ. Vegas models. What's Vegas models? Vegas models. But hey, I'm happy for the clothes. I'm happy about the clothes that I got. Excited ako ipakita eh. Pero bukas na lang talaga. These are clothes I never thought I would get for myself, but I ended up doing so. Okay, have a great evening, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Our top 10. LJ, Romeo, Mock, MJ, Christian, Officer Japaulo, BL, CJ, Bok. Thank you very, very much. Nakahabol pa si Joel. Thank you for hanging out. Romeo, LJ, Alex, Mock, Pau, MJ, Lala, Joel, and everybody else, chat. I'll see you tomorrow.